I'm Jane.
I'm Tom.
I'm Ella.
Mine. This is Charlotte. This is Ava.
And I'm Billy.
And I'm Heidi.
Hi, I'm Dave.
I'm Rochelle.
My name's Emma.
Hi, my name is Sue.
My name's Anastasia.
I'm Deb.
And I'm Rob.
My name's Nicole.
We're Family by Family.
Family by Family is one of the most inspiring approaches to assisting very vulnerable families going through a tough time, that I've come across in 4 decades.
Family by Family is a network of families connecting with other families. One family have been through tough times and helping another family that are going through tough times.
Family by Family is people who help other people who are looking to change and make life better in general. It might be they're in crisis, it might be little things that they want to change, just wanting to go to school or wanting to connect with their community. It can be anything big or small, and so we just help them to make that happen.
They have different bubbles, which are what they want to change about their family, and they come together and experience different situations in which those bubbles can be achieved.
Lots of people are in that bit where they're trying to get through it and they can't get out the other side, so you can kind of go, you know what, I did this, I've been here, I've done that, I can actually get out. I can help you get out the other side, it can be done, it's not a completely hopeless situation. And I think that's mostly what sharing families have to offer, I think, is just themselves and their stories and their life.
It was designed to try and find and generate solutions to the many challenges we face as a society, social, environmental and others.
Over 2 years ago now, I was seconded from South Australia's child protection system to Taxi, and at that stage I was working on what was known as the Family Project, and the remit we were given was how can we stop so many South Australians from entering the child protection system.
Everyone said to us the child protection system was one example of an area that was in crisis, and if we could make a difference there, then it would be most welcome.
Being a passionate child protection worker, I was really interested in what else can we do for families? Because clearly what we're doing at the moment, and whether that be services, targeted services, community development, mentoring, it's not enough because we've still got child protection stats that are increasing every year.
New South Wales, where 1 in 3 children is notified to child protection authorities by the age of 16, 1 in 4.5 here in South Australia, 1 in 5 in Victoria, where we've reached a point where we can go no further without doing deep harm to families.
Hi, I'm Linda.
Hi, I'm Brady.
I'm Adrian.
And this is Lucas with the youngest one, Talia, and we're seeking family from Playford.
When we met Linda and her family, they were going through a really hard time. They were at risk of having their family separated by having the children removed from the home.
27 notifications in the last 3 years before this year.
What we saw was a very sad, depressed family. There was a lot of confusion happening.
They wanted to take the kids till they were 18. I went through court for 3 months.
How can we help with this? Because we're just as dysfunctional as the next family. But then we realised that we'd actually learnt a lot of things that we could really help Linda with.
Rochelle and David have just coaxed me along and got me to come out my show, I guess.
I've never looked at the world in the sense that people haven't been camping before. To me, it's a common thing. Camping is something everybody does.
It's strange seeing your mum do these things that you've never thought she'd even try and do.
The change that I've seen in Linda, more confidence, most definitely, more positive outlook.
Families SA just feel the happier vibe come off my house now. And I was just amazed how they can feel the difference.
Where many services have not thought it was possible for change to happen, and families on the ground have been able to facilitate that change. That is incredible.
It's just been fantastic to go through court, having the support behind me and not losing my kids. I'm looking at a happier future with my kids. I feel really proud of myself now that my kids are happier. I'm a lot happier and able to do a lot more with them.
It's time for us to look very closely at the way in which family by family is achieving what it's achieving. To understand that it looks deceptively simple, but behind it is a very sophisticated understanding of what families need.
So when it came to, I guess, answering that question about how do we stop so many families from entering crisis services or the child protection system, we applied an approach called radical redesign.
We work backwards from people to solutions. So we started our work with an ethnographic phase, which meant a lot of time hanging out with families to understand how they live life and what's important to them and what does it mean to thrive as a family.
And then we moved to co-design, and co-design is all about coming up with concrete ideas and solutions. And so we took ideas and materials and scenarios of what would actually improve life for families back out to them.
The families that were involved, we got to prototype it, things that weren't working we threw out, and we brought other things in, and we really got to be a part of, how it was run and how it was made.
I've been with family by families for the beginning, and my first link up didn't go that well. Made some changes to the model of family by family, and my next link up was a completely different story.
The benefits of prototyping is it allows you to find the best fit for the people that you're working with. It allows creativity. It allows you to move with people as they change.
It can be a really frustrating experience because you're trying so many different things, and sometimes you don't seem to be anywhere near the right track, but you do end up getting there at the end, and at the end you realise that it's all been worth it for the families.
When I first met Rihanna, I was feeling quite anxious. I'd been going through depression and anxiety, and being in those social situations was quite overwhelming.
Since we started family by family, my mum doesn't stress as much.
So with the link up with Jane, I realised that it was more about not really doing things with her, but just supporting her and being there for her and just helping her to reach the goals that she wanted.
I've gone from it being a struggle to get up sometimes in the morning, to get out of the house, to now becoming a sharing family and being able to give to another family what Rihanna was able to give to myself and my family.
Didn't know if it would work, if the whole idea of it would work. It wasn't a positive feeling I had towards it to begin with.
Jasmine came home one day and said that she'd heard about this family by family thing, and I thought, I'm not too sure about it, but I went off to the camp and it was actually really good. I had a good time, met some good guys.
One of my big concerns was that we would throw a family into a situation that they wouldn't have the capacity to deal with, or that could trigger some past pain, and I could see them regress as a family, and I didn't want to see that happen. But what I've actually seen is the complete opposite of that.
My views have changed dramatically over time. I now am a part of Family by Family, and so are my children. It's been an amazing journey from going from somebody who wasn't into it at all to now being someone who recruits other people.
I find that since Family by Family, we're sort of more forced to go out and do something as a family, which sounds bad, but beforehand we would have been happy sitting in front of the TV.
A lot has changed for me being part of Family by Family. I'm going to uni, I'm doing a Bachelor of Behavioural Science, so psychology, which I'm really happy with.
Done so much more with herself. She's become more confident with talking to people. She's made new friends. She's just become happy as a whole person.
You get the opportunity to do something positive for other people, and that just influences every part of your life.
Being a family coach, I am dealing with families every single day, and there's a lot of information that's really positive and really great. And so I take that home and are able to use that with my own family.
The sharing family concept makes you think that, you should be already something, and therefore you don't need to make changes, you don't need to improve. To me, that's the point of being a sharing family, is you always do change and you always do improve and you always do try and make things better.
We talk, we joke around, we're not fighting all the time, we're not yelling at each other, we're not arguing. We just get along, we can talk to each other like people and stuff. It's nice.
I can give more because I know more than I did then, and I think it's important that sharing families aren't looked at as this perfect concept of a family, because we're not. We still need help, and we still need to change, and we still need to make improvements. That's why we're sharing families, because we can do that and get through and come out on the other side and still be happy.
Over the last 12 months, we've been up to lots of things. We've recruited a team.
Hi, I'm Danielle and I'm a family coach in the Playford area.
Hi, I'm Leanne. I'm family coach at Marion.
And I'm Lauren. I'm the kids coach across both areas.
We've moved to a new community. We've shifted offices. We've created, recreated, thrown out and recreated over and over again. So it's been a huge 12 months of really developing the practice and system side of things.
After the prototype was over, there was no way I was going anywhere. Family by Family is a really exciting thing to be involved in, and you know, it's just amazing to see how much it's grown. Like, it's growing all the time, it's changing all the time, and it's just like what works for families.
Since the prototype, it's gotten bigger. There's more families involved, there's more coaches, and there's more specific roles for everybody now.
I remembered having this thought of, yep, this is good. I can do this. Yep, we know this works, and you know, we link families with families, and we've got bubbles, and we're looking at behaviour change. And then the reality of hiring a team and the training and the development and the ups and downs of family and the systems and the practice and the business model all sort of came crashing down.
The biggest difference about being interviewed by family was the fact that we were interviewed by the families themselves, and that probably made us the most nervous, but it really showed that families and their opinions counted, and ultimately the families had the final say over who got the job.
We've got new families, we've got new people working behind the scenes. You know, we're doing smaller group work now, and having speakers come in, and we're learning a lot more and getting a lot more information to help our families.
So once we had Marion up and running successfully, the question for us was really about how do we adapt family by family to a new community.
Before we took what was happening already in Family by Family and just plonked it into the Playford community, we undertook this process called scoping.
Scoping study gave an opportunity to really get a sense of what family dynamics and community dynamics were at play within Playford.
She wanted to know about our family, what it's like in Playford, which I must admit was boring, nothing to do, nowhere to take the kids without money.
We asked what our input is to how we could make it better, how things are working.
So because of our scoping process, there were some significant changes that we made to Family by Family. We changed the way we talked about it. We added an additional step into our sharing family recruitment. We had to be really explicit about the no racism policy. And we looked at the events and the opportunity, and we just made the most of those. And that means that now Family by Family has a tight, good fit for Playford. And that's different from Marion, and that's great. We don't want two sites that look the same.
Some guy in Canberra can't tell me how my area runs. I lived here. I've lived here pretty much my whole life. I know what makes this, I'm not going to jump up and down and say I know exactly what's right, but I'm the person to talk to.
I've never had the chance to shape a program before, so it was amazing having my say into it.
I think it was always clear what families were going to come back into the child protection system, and they were always those families that were incredibly socially isolated. They didn't have family they could rely on. They didn't have people that wanted good things for them. It's not a silver bullet. It's not the answer to everyone's problems. It's a complement, and it provides a different way to look at things and a different way to approach things. And I think if we're truly going to move forwards, we have to look at more than one approach.
I think that Family by Family are needed everywhere because there's a lot of families with lots of different issues that need help getting through them.
Having removed many kids myself, it's a horrible thing to do, and no social worker ever wants to do it. So if there is any possible way that we can provide an alternative to that and think creatively about that, then that's absolutely what we're going to do.
When there's so many people struggling in the community and they feel like they're alone, for them to know that they're not, I think is just awesome.
Our sharing families, they're already there. There's lots of these families all over South Australia, all over Australia. So why not use them? Why not value family as a profession in itself and make the most of that?
I'm Sue. I'm a seeking family. I'm a single parent with 4 children. I wanted to focus on just being more positive with my with my own family and interacting in a positive way towards each other and showing them positive relationships with other people.
So I found that once I told her some of the things that I'd been through, it was kind of like, okay, well, I can tell you this much more, you know, and the more I told her about what I'd been through, the more she told me about what she'd been through.
My 9-year-old son has some special needs. He was too young for it to be labelled, so it got labelled as developmental delays, which is an umbrella thing. Yeah. Since then, I've been knocking on doors and you know, screaming and crying and whatever for help.
We have guest speakers giving us training, for example, from Autism SA. That was particularly significant with Sue because I was able to pass on that information.
Anastasia approached him then, and I spoke about Sean, and it just went from there. Just like family, this is as good as it gets. This is my family. This woman here. She's helped me so much. Sorry, I'm getting sad because that's the kind of thing that family actually does, you know, when someone's sick or they're going to have an assessment for a disability. You know, the family ring up and see how the outcome is, or someone meets you there. And that's never happened for myself and my children. Makes me, at the end of the day, feel more special as a person, that someone does care about us. And yeah, I'm a better person because of it.
My family has grown so much through being linked up with Sue, just by being involved with her family. My children have a lot more empathy, they understand a lot more, they're asking a lot more questions.
Instead of me telling me, no, I'm useless, I'm this, that and the other, I've got someone saying, no, you are a good mum, you do a good job, you know. So it's just, yeah, that helps immensely.
Just seeing her come alive, the way that she holds herself compared to the way that she did when I first met her is just, yeah. She actually, you know, stands tall and smiles.
Life before Family by Family was pretty shitty. And now life is it's just going to get better. It's as good as it can get for me at the moment, I believe, you know. If someone was thinking about becoming a seeking family, you know, don't hesitate to do it, because I'm so glad that I've done this. I've gained so much from it.
What really caught my eye was the fact that it wasn't just for me, it was also for my children, that my children could actually be involved in something, maybe learn from it, have some fun.
Family by Family has been fantastic for my children. Not only do they have amazing morals to teach the kids, they also play games with them. They teach us games that we wouldn't even think of playing with them as parents.
It's amazing how you can use everything negative that's ever happened in your life and turn it into a positive because you've been there. I get so much out of it, and I feel therefore my family gets so much out of it. It is the fact that I like to help other families and I like to do what I can, but yeah, it's done a lot for me. So I think the fact that it does so much for me means I can do more for other people.
My name's Emma, and I got a small family here. My husband Tom, and I got a little one. We're quite new here.
I wanted to expose our family to different cultures. I think we've lived fairly sheltered life in a way.
Michael, my little one, he need to be exposed more to English-speaking English environment and gain more confidence, and we need a more healthy family relationship.
I've been able to share a lot with Emma and Tom about how to expose Michael to, I guess, more Australian culture and more English.
I can see Michael become more confident. So I never seen Michael play with other children. So I feel so happy to see Michael, pat little Sabian and try to read a book to Sabian. So I didn't expect that. So that's good.
It's time that we thought profoundly about another approach, which is walking beside families and drawing on the strengths that exist within our own communities.
I guess the fact that it's families helping families is one of the most positive things that there is.
People out there are doing it hard, don't have supports, and the supports they get are usually from government agencies, which only operate on a 9 to 5 basis and not on weekends. And as we know, families don't close, you know.
Hi, I'm Julie, and I'm a seeking family. I'm a foster carer. I've been fostering for about 33 years.
We found with Julie that she needed to have some space for herself in her life so that she would be better able to cope with the challenges that she has with a teenage foster son.
With my link up, having more one-on-one time with the foster son I have, who's 15, for cooking, because when he's 18, he's no longer under my care, and cooking, you know, is one of the skills that he's going to really need.
Linking her up with a painting class so she had time for herself, could meet other people and could develop aspects of herself, so it wasn't about others all the time. So with the painting, because she's a wonderful painter, her self-esteem and belief in herself has grown.
The whole family unit's been a lot better because they're more relaxed, they're happier, because I'm relaxed and happier. The relationship with my foster son has improved greatly. He's a lot happier and a lot more relaxed at this stage. Because he has been a little bit of a handful, and we're overcoming that.
So for us, year one was about designing, developing and testing a theory of change for families. Year two was about bringing on a team and developing the practice and systems around that theory of change. And next, it's really about what's the best way to grow this.
We're very excited that we actually have a number of jurisdictions around the country that are really keen to see family by family in their communities.
For us, next year is about prototyping a business model and really understanding the best way to grow this that isn't going to compromise outcomes for families.
We're hopeful that it will be a program that every community will be able to take up and implement over time.
So we think really positive change is happening for families, but we want to be sure. So we've employed an external evaluator who's been working with us for the last 12 months. And that looks at not just what the outcomes are, but how did you get to those outcomes? What was the mechanism behind that? So we will be releasing our first report, and hopefully that's going to provide us with a platform to create change for more families.
My goals that we're working on at the moment are getting out more.
I'm getting to know her and not having her feel as though I'm a worker, I'm a friend, and I feel I am her friend now.
Jessie was afraid of leaving the house, afraid of connecting to other parents because she had a child in care, and she thought that people would judge her.
One time, Helza and I went to the park, and it was the first time I went to park with Bo.
Put him on the swing for the first time and he loved it, and then I sat back and watched her do activities with Bo, and she was jumping him along on the rocks.
I think she helped me just by watching her. She's a good role model to be around, and that's just left tread marks on me.
She has just come so far in such a short amount of time, and her own reflection of what's happened for her and what's changed for her has been really inspiring.
I think it was mostly because of my self-confidence. I didn't have any. And I feel like when I'm out doing stuff by myself, sometimes I might feel alone, and like people are looking at me and thinking that I'm stupid, but I'm not. I'm just having fun with my son.
She was telling me that she just feels like she's grown up, which is beautiful.
I put his needs on top of mine. I make sure he's my number one.
So why invest? Because you get value for money. The families are the change makers and the professionals are in the background, which basically means when you scale, it's cost effective.
I would invest in family by family so we can help families just become better families and help them reach their goals.
I cannot say one negative thing about it. It has really transformed my life, my attitude, my confidence.
I think we should invest in family by family because it's a good experience where you get to meet new people and do things that you probably wouldn't have done before.
Family is the most important thing in our community, and we really can do something amazing with this project.
You should invest in family by family because this program actually works.
It works.
It works.
It works. It clearly works.
It's giving us hope of a new way of reaching out to troubled families, drawing on the strengths that exist in other families.
People should invest in family by family because all families deserve to do more than just bounce back from the hard times. They deserve to thrive. They deserve to live the life that they want to live.